Hello. Hi, my name's Heather B., and I'm one of the matron of honors, and I've known Meghan for literally hundreds of years, and in all that time, we have experienced the good, the bad, the ugly, and the great. I'll end positive. And we always, one story that always comes to mind is that we always had a running joke that if we were going to make a bad decision, that we would be up front with the other one and take them to Starbucks and just take them out. So just poison their drink and tell them not to do that. I didn't have to do that with Tony. The moment I met him, I turned to my husband and I said, that's the one for Meghan. Instantly. The way he looked at her, the way he talked to her, the way he made her feel. And she's never been so openly affectionate with a man. And it was really rewarding to see someone that's so deserving as Meghan getting someone that treated her so well. So I couldn't be happier, and I know it's a cliche, but I've never seen her happier, and I am so happy for them, and I'm so blessed to be part of this day.
Good evening, everybody. I am Tim Boyko. I'm one of the best men and one of the brothers to Tony. And Tony, congratulations. Couldn't be happier for you. Very, very, very excited for you and Meghan, and looking forward to getting to know Meghan. And Meghan, I have something I'm going to share with you so you get to know Tony, and something he's probably not shared before, since I've known him my entire life. All right. So I know after the honeymoon stage, I'm guessing that in the future, children will be there. And I want to let you know that, well, fourscore and countless decades ago, Tony gave a very, very wise speech when it came to raising kids. Now, I won't bore you with saying and reciting all 8 minutes of the speech, but I want to give you a little bit preview of this. So Meghan, when you need this advice, you can go right to Tony, knowing you have the right man for the right job. And it goes something like this: violence, television, kids. What do these three have in common? Violence is on TV. And who watches it? Children, but definitely not yours. So best wishes to both of you, Tony and Meghan. Congratulations.
Well, I'm not quite sure how to follow all of this up this evening, but I'll give it my best shot. Lois and I would like to welcome both the Boyko and Warner families and their friends to this happy occasion. Many of you have traveled a long ways to be here, literally from coast to coast and from north to south, from Florida to Texas to Minnesota to Montana and all parts in between. I'm not quite sure where to start now, but boy howdy. First of all, I think there are people in this room that wondered if this day would ever happen. You know, for the last 2 years, back up just a moment here, we wondered if this happy day would ever come for two people that have pursued their own lives and their own careers for the last couple of years. Independent with their own lives and careers. I think I include Lois and myself among these people that wondered if this would ever happen. And I also wonder if Tony and Meghan ever thought this day would come for them individually. There's a rather well-worn old saying that says opposites attract. Now this may be true on the surface for Tony and Meghan. Meghan is outgoing, has friends everywhere. She first started speaking in sentences when she was 10 months old, and she hasn't stopped talking yet. Tony, on the other hand, is much more reserved, and some people might say almost shy. But where the rubber meets the road, and for the things that really matter, they are much more connected. As another old saying goes, they are evenly yoked. They both have a strong Christian faith. They're both dedicated to their careers and their businesses, and they strongly support each other in those endeavors. And they both have a healthy interest in exercise and good living. So 3 building blocks for their relationship. Meghan first met Tony on August 30th, make sure I get this date right, 2017, on a blind date arranged by a mutual friend. Now, as is typical of many blind dates, neither really wanted to go on this date. But they followed through and decided to go on the date. They went to dinner in an Italian restaurant in Tulsa. And Meghan's first impression of Tony was that he was tall. And she really liked that. And he was also a gentleman. And she liked that too. And that he was nervous. And Meghan told me that Tony would absolutely deny that. Meghan was intrigued enough, she's usually a one and done, to go on a second date. And after this particular date, she decided that he was the one. They went to a gelato place in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And while waiting in line to get the gelato, Meghan said to Tony, "Sometimes people are put off by my chattiness." And Tony gently placed a hand on her lower back and says, "I like it because that way I don't have to talk as much." It appears that it took Tony a little bit longer, but he finally got things figured out. We first met Tony in October of 2017 when Meghan was in Oklahoma City for a CrossFit competition. And we could immediately see that Tony was absolutely devoted to Meghan. By his actions and his words, so forth, that he was devoted to Meghan. And he made a hit with us, and Eric referred to this a little bit last night when he mentioned that Tony got down on the floor and played with our little Bichon Max, and just kind of endeared himself to all of us. The event that really brought Meghan and Tony together was a rim-to-rim hike, Grand Canyon, in May of 2018. They trained together for months for this particular event, and Tony was extremely supportive of both Meghan and the other hikers during this hike. Now, a few days before the hike, Tony called and asked if he could see Lois and me. And the reason for this meeting was that Tony wanted our blessing because he was about to ask Meghan to marry him. And of course, we gave him the blessing. No problem there. So, partway into the hike, Tony dropped to his knee and proposed to Meghan, taking her completely by surprise. But as fortune would have it, she was not able to tell anybody about the engagement for many, many hours until they got out of the canyon about 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but we already knew. Meghan didn't know we knew, but we already knew that it had taken place. But she was dying to tell everybody, and of course couldn't do it. Following months, leading to this day, have been a blur of planning, preparation, and showers. And now here we are on this wonderful evening. At this stage of their lives, there's not a whole lot of advice that I can give Meghan and Tony as they're about to start their lives together as a married couple. So I will keep it simple. And Stuart already gave this as part of his message, so I will keep it really simple with a paraphrase of St. Paul. That is, love is patient, love is kind. Love bears all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. So it is our wish, Lois and mine, and our prayer together, that as we raise our glasses, we propose this toast to you, Meghan and Tony, on this your wedding day, that you will have a long, happy, and love-filled marriage.